Mic check, mic check.
It's exactly 5 o'clock and no later than that. And you're watching Chelsea and Tony live. How you living, Tony?
I'm good. I totally
live?
did not realize that we went live.
I noticed that. You were really distant for a moment there.
Yeah, I was just into my D850.
This episode is brought to you by
Squarespace.
Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. They have beautiful award-winning templates, an all-in-one platform, 24/7 customer support, which I've never had to use. It's so easy. And you can start your free trial today at squarespace.com/Tony. And if you decide you'd like to buy it, I think you will, you can use the offer code PORTFOLIO for 10% off of your first purchase. Tony, guess what? I'm updating my portfolio.
Oh, cool. What are you doing to it?
Well, so one of you wrote me and you told me I had a dead link. So I went in to fix that and didn't because I started just redesigning a whole new template. So
yeah, I'm switching to one of the new modern templates too. I like the 3D scrolling effect that they have.
Really
It's
cool
like
new templates.
truly amazing.
Which one are you
Beautiful
using?
design. I don't remember the name of it, but it has the 3D scrolling because that's awesome. So you can always get a modern design with Squarespace without having to be a nerd.
I don't think mine had the 3D scrolling, so I might transfer mine to a new template.
You're going to rip me off now. If you already have a Squarespace website of any type, we'd love to take a look at it. Visit sdp.io/link and put your URL in, and we'll look at it halfway through the show. I feel weird about doing this regular nonsense when things are just like this hurricane is just wrecking people's lives.
Yeah, people are really suffering.
And we've been through a couple of very minor hurricanes with minimal damage, and it was pretty devastating to us. And it always felt weird to me that everybody else just went about doing their regular nonsense because everybody else's life seems so trivial when you're in the middle of a disaster like that.
Yeah.
And so I totally sympathize for all the people impacted. And we debated not doing it, but we decided we would just do it, but give all the money that we get from this show to various charities. And if you look, there should be a little eye in the upper right corner of the screen that will link you to donating to the Red Cross.
So you can donate to the Red Cross that way. If you give us money comments this show, those will all go to the Red Cross. We'll put them there, and then we're going to donate 1,000 of our own dollars to various charities.
Yeah, I would suggest you can give us money comments and we'll do that. But YouTube would take a portion of it, so I would probably just donate directly to.
It would be easier to go to the Red Cross. That's easier.
We don't want to hand any of that to Google if we don't need to. So anyway, we're thinking about everybody impacted. You know, Chelsea has a lot of family in Puerto Rico, and it seems like they did okay. It seems like it skirted Puerto Rico, and there's still plenty of damage, but not where they were. So that's good news. But we've been just like white knuckling it, looking at the weather and hoping that things haven't gone well for everybody. Some people are severely impacted.
Yeah.
And we hope that, Florida and Cuba and the Dominican Republic, we hope as it progresses that everybody there is safe and okay and can get someplace safe. So good luck to everybody. We are thinking about you. Today we're looking at Cityscape photos. So you can start sending those in at sdp.io/submit. These are like landscape photos, but with a city in them. Usually it's a skyline, but not every city has a skyline. So we have a pretty flexible definition about that, but it's not street photography. This is showing the broader, wider angle of a city. And next week?
This is actually not next week. It's the week after. We won't be here next week. And we'll be reviewing your environmental portraits. It's not just portraits. It's not just, it's somebody in their environment matching their environment. So let's say someone in a woodworking workshop and you get a nice portrait of them.
Yeah, it's a portrait that tells you a little bit about the person.
Yeah,
not just what their face looks like, but what they do, what they love, something about them.
Look up Newman's environmental portraits.
Yeah,
he probably has the best examples.
Yeah. Let's introduce our crew here. In the studio, we have Justin, who's switching cameras.
Hello.
Making everything work. Tell them what you're drinking tonight, Justin.
This is that lovely Kilbeggan. Here, I'll cut to Tony camera. Yeah, that Rod Gill
It is beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I'm
Yes.
drinking some of that too. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
thank you,
so
Rod.
smooth.
We're all drinking Justin's whiskey now, except for Siobhan, who's drinking her own whiskey that Rod also provided for her.
Thank you so much, Rod. That's Siobhan out in Philly. She's screening your pictures. She's looking at your comments. And if you want to talk to us, you can just write a comment and she will read it to us if you're entertaining and whatnot. We'll cover some news while you're sending your pictures in. The big news of this week is that the Nikon D850 is now shipping to people, like officially today.
And we got ours today.
Yes.
So I think we already started testing. You started with some of your image tests, right?
Yeah, and it's done. I uploaded it to YouTube, but YouTube is processing it. So at some point, you'll be able to see it probably right after the live show, just as soon as I get around to posting it.
So that's just a first test. We'll be doing many more tests and making another video.
Yeah, but for those dying to know about the image quality, it's about the same as the D810. The dynamic range is noticeably better. But that, like high ISOs, it's not significantly better. But at the same time, it's about the same, but it's got more megapixels, so your images are sharper. It keeps up or surpasses everything about the A7R2 and the 5 DSR. So it's all around better, not to mention all the various usability things. I can't think of any reason
we'll
not to get
we'll
it.
dig in with more tests and then we'll get back to them.
Yeah.
We've got more to do.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's not just the image quality, but that's what we've done today. You want to take a look at some pictures?
Yeah.
Or would you rather jump into chit chat first? What are you
Let's
feeling?
do pictures first.
Okay.
Just, let's get this started.
This is going to take me a second if you care to like say stuff.
Oh, I'd rather just watch you dig into these files. And Justin, how do you like your whiskey?
It's incredible.
It's so smooth,
Yeah, it's
right?
great.
And warm.
Yeah, and that whiskey you guys got me that one time was really good too.
I don't know what that was, so
I forget the name. All the names are so similar, you know?
that's racist. It's not. It's not. Okay. Panama City.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that cool building.
Don't you want to hit the dehaze on it a little bit? Because it is a little hazy on this day. And I think that's why it has that blue color to it.
But that building looks pixelated. That's what's weird. That's what's freaking
this one?
me out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an 8-bit building.
It's freaking me out.
I think to start off, this is a good, solid cityscape, right?
I like the palm trees in the foreground. So that's interesting. Let's look at this. Brooklyn. Wow. This is a little dark for me.
So a compositional thing, I always struggle with that. Like there are a couple of questions with shooting a cityscape because they tend to be very, very wide. And so it's tempting to crop it panoramic, in which case it can be difficult to kind of share online. But I think this crop pretty much works, but I would tilt everything back a little bit because we have all this stuff in the foreground, all this water in the foreground taking up a full half of the image and there's nothing going on. So I'd probably go with the rule of thirds and let the water fill at most the bottom third of the image because the sky itself is going to be more compelling because it's got clouds in it.
I actually like the reflections in the water, so I have a different opinion than you in this one. And isn't that just life? Good news snaps from Belfast. I think that the bench in this photo is more prominent than the skyline. It doesn't. So
yeah, at least a third of the image is just this kind of gray tile.
Yeah.
And we have these powerful lines that kind of lead our eye to not much. So I guess I'd like to see some sort of focal point in these benches or along the pathway because we do have such powerful converging lines drawing our eye to that point. There needs to be something there or it feels unsatisfying because our eye wanders there and then it feels like, oh, what am I supposed to be looking
the payoff?
at? Yeah. Beautiful. Vancouver, not been there, but This is taken at the perfect time. And I predict we're going to be saying this about a lot of the shots. The
Take it
timing
every
makes
hour.
such a difference. And yeah, this is taken shortly after dusk. The lights are up, but you still have light in the sky. And so the sky is not black.
I like
Perfect
the colors.
timing,
That's
Hubert.
pretty. Good reflection too.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Stockholm is just really beautiful.
Yeah. But I like this. Is it a buoy or a ship? I guess
think
it's
it's
a
a ship.
ship. In the foreground, I like well, it looked like a long exposure because the water has that kind of feathery look. Maybe there was some post-processing done on it. Yeah, beautiful shot. I love the colors, and I love using the sun as a focal point, but the birds add a lot too. I'm going to give this one a pick.
I like this
My
a
first
lot
pick
too.
of the night.
I just
Great
brightened
shot.
it up a tiny bit.
Yeah, I thought about trying to brighten up that ship a little bit without making it look HDR-y. Maybe it's a good compromise as it is. This is a powerful sunset.
London, weird buildings. This looks like it's on fire, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You
Yeah,
got a
it
lot
is.
of landmarks in one shot.
I'm trying to decide if maybe there was a way I could just give it a little more. I'm not sure I can, though.
I do like the texture of the sky. A long exposure may have been interesting because the river feels a little bit cluttered to me. Maybe if some of those boats had been moving with a longer exposure, then you would have had a smoothness. But I can't say if that would have been a better option. Something to try.
Yeah, definitely something to consider.
Are you okay?
Yeah, what has happened? Oh, I have two of them selected. Sorry.
And just like that. So I think this is a really beautiful location, and I think your composition is nice. I think the lighting could be better, and there'd be more depth in the photo. I don't know which way the sun would be rising or setting, but just imagine the light skimming across the fronts of the buildings, and you'd be getting different colors and a sense of depth. So try going at a different time if that's possible.
I'm going to suggest a compositional change. To me, the most prominent two lines are this horizontal line here and then this line here. And I guess I'd like to see those two lines balanced a little bit better because we have, like a quarter, 20% of the frame down here and then only like 5-6% of the frame up here. I guess I'd like to see just a little bit more sky.
Okay.
But I think this is a beautiful city, and I actually thought the lighting looked pretty nice. Stockholm
Another
always has
Stockholm.
cranes
It's
all over it.
always sunset in Stockholm.
Yeah, that's true. Here, I guess I'm looking for
It's not actually
something
true.
to catch my eye, a colorful sky. We do have these kind of big geometric shapes, the round shape, and then the two cranes, but my
This
eye doesn't
isn't
really rest
a
anywhere.
cityscape anyway.
Yeah. Blue Hour in Atlanta. Issa knows about the Blue Hour.
I do like the colors. This is taken out of a window. I think I see a picture frame right here.
I was going to say.
You can prevent that by putting the curtain over your camera. Just make sure it doesn't knock it if you're doing a long exposure. Yeah, you did 20 seconds. Or you can even
Yeah, and
just
turn all the lights off in your room, too.
turn all the lights off in your room. But
Yeah, I think it turned out well.
it's nice. It's nice. You're nice.
This
This
is
is
such
beautiful.
a gorgeous place, but it's so
the heck?
yellow, right? I know. This is going to happen with a lot of the night shots. The balance is kind of impossible to nail because you have the last remnants of sunlight, which after dark are going to be a little bit cool. And then most incandescent lights range anywhere from yellow to green, and then you start to see lots of LEDs nowadays, which are weird shades of blue. And so there's not any one white balance that's going to nail it. So instead, I usually pull it a little bit towards the blue and try to find the best balance.
Beautiful picture, though. I love the cliffs and the lights. It makes the city feel really alive.
Yeah, what a stunning
A
place.
great time of day to take a picture, not too
picture.
dark. Otherwise, there would have been too much contrast.
Nice job, Jay Stinson. We skipped over this one. I love the planes in this one. It's just a nice little detail to focus on. Got a couple of birds in the foreground there. One thing I always debate with cityscapes, maybe you have an opinion, Chelsea, is do you shoot it, typically the sun is going to rise or set behind it and then rise or set in front of it. So if the sun is rising to your back, it's going to illuminate the cityscape, but the sky will be dark. And if the sun is rising or setting behind the city, the buildings are going to be dark and in shadow, but you're going to have this like amazing and dynamic sky. And it's a tough choice to make. I think I tend to lean towards having the sun behind me, which might mean getting up early or staying up late, depending on where you are.
Yeah, it would depend on a few different things for me.
Maybe even waiting later, because it doesn't seem like any of the lights are on yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Good shot, James. I like the little bit of extra story here.
I do too.
Yeah, I like a little black and white.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't mind the color. They weren't too distracting.
No, I think the color's fine, but I would expose for the people in the foreground since they're the ones in focus.
It doesn't hurt to say, the tangles in her hair are pretty prominent just because they're so contrasty. You can just say, hey, run your fingers through your hair for me real quick. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Assuming you know them. If you don't, then it's a real creepy thing to do.
That's a real rude thing to say. It's like when you were telling me to blow on my soup the other day.
For the sake of a photo.
Even worse.
Those are some pretty good shots.
Poor Justin, he had sympathy. Baltimore Aquarium.
I love the contrast here with the sun reflecting off the building. Really adds some pop to it.
Yeah, I'd say this is pushing the cityscape.
Yeah, that's a good
definition. James.
I love the
city
storm
at the end of the bridge.
in the distance. Yeah, the city here is almost disappearing because it's such a wide angle shot. Nonetheless, I like the kind of super wide angle distortion that we're getting there. It's interesting.
Me too.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
This is beautiful.
I'm going to give you a pick on this right away, James. Beautiful shot. Perfect colors, great time of day. You nailed it. Got everything right.
Wow.
Central Park.
I'm just taking it in. This is such an interesting shot. I like it a lot. That rhymed. I'm going to give you a pick.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Sorry, I didn't have any feedback. I like the story of the people in the foreground, and yeah, it's a great shot.
Okay. Siobhan, do you have any questions or comments?
I sure do. I have a bunch of money comments from our generous viewers.
Cool.
Eric Lowenbach gave us $20 for the storm people.
Thank you, Eric.
Peter Cedric Rocksmith gave us $10 and said, feeling for folks in the islands, have close friends in South Florida, and I'm very worried for them. Glad these donations will go down there.
Thanks, guys.
$20 from Long Island Hillbilly. And $5 from Jim P. Photos. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. You can also just give by hitting the I up there and you can give directly. But yeah, we'll take that money, the part that we get from YouTube, and then pass it on.
And we have some questions.
Okay.
Jim Setzer wants to know, what cityscape is still on your bucket list?
Oh, man. What cities do you think have the best cityscapes? I photographed a bunch of them.
I would like to get an Italian city on a cliff, like the picture that we saw a few back. I don't have anything like that yet.
Yeah.
We live right near New York and Boston, so we've had experience with those cityscapes, and New York is really iconic, so I feel like I pretty much got that.
Yeah, I would like to get Chicago. You kind of have to be in a boat to get it. It's finding that right point of view can be a real challenge because so many cities are on big bodies of water. And you have to get some distance. You can't ever get it from the city. You have to go outside of the city. So I guess I'll say Chicago. What else you got?
Siobhan?
Yep. Nathaniel Compton asks, I'm a software engineer working on iOS Android camera remote app. Could you ask Tony and Chelsea the features they wish that Sony, Canon, Nikon, etc. apps had, or features they wish would work better?
That sounds like something we'd need to write you an email about.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they were reliable. I wish they would transfer images in the background without me having to do anything. And I wish, you know, sometimes you can only transfer JPEG files and you can't transfer RAW files. I'm tossing out a bunch of things that you couldn't possibly do from a client-side app. Sorry, those are the things that I would find useful. I guess the right answer is you'd have to work with the companies and get the camera software to be improved, but that's a difficult thing. For the most part, nowadays, I don't often use remote control. I'll just like take the SD card out and transfer it directly to my phone. I just find that to be easier.
That's what I like too. I've tried Wi-Fi and a few different cameras and I find it too unreliable. It's frustrating. I just want my picture on my phone when I want it. And it's easier to just put in the SD card directly into your phone, get an adapter, and then you can use Lightroom Mobile like I do. And that's been the easiest thing.
Yeah, a couple of times I've used the remote screen because for whatever reason, maybe I'm videoing myself and I want to make sure I'm focused on myself, something like that. But I don't need another app for that. Either it's built into the app or it's not. And generally the app just works okay.
I don't know if we answered your question well.
Yeah, sorry.
You really got us going there. What else, Siobhan?
Kyle Wolf is in the chat this week because his class was canceled tonight.
Oh, congrats, Kyle.
I miss you,
Getting
Kyle.
out of school, that is.
I see Kyle. I see you on Instagram all the time, and I just miss you.
I know.
hope
I
you're
see his
doing well.
pictures on Insta and Twitter, and they're amazing. He's still out there shooting awesome pictures. I'm always excited when I see his pictures, too. Glad you're doing well, Kyle. Is that all? Did he have anything to say?
No, he gave a specific shout out to Justin that I just passed along to him.
All right.
My dear 10-year-old stepson Levi asked what a good beginner camera for him would be.
Oh.
I presume for your YouTube videos? What would be good for video? And stills.
I actually think the smartphone can go a long way.
He could just get accessories for his smartphone. Like
Yeah.
like they have little microphones, Levi, that would bring up the sound quality. If you're thinking about your YouTube videos, I don't know if you actually want to just take pictures.
And beyond that, it's a camera Siobhan already has, but the EM10 is just like a general great all-around camera, and it's one that we regularly recommend to people. Even just a used original EM10 is fantastic, just good and inexpensive. You want to do some chit-chat?
Sure.
This is the portion of the show when we read your dumb comments. This is my Canon 60 Mark II tutorial.
What? Why do you say it like that? You're getting a lot of crap?
Because I got a lot of crap on this video, and all right. Syed says, it's funny how hypocrite Tony is. Just see the review of the 60 Mark II Biome. It's the most disappointing camera from Canon, which has almost nothing new, yet still he wasted his precious hour and a half to make a tutorial for a flop camera.
But people own it and need to know how to use it still.
Yeah, even if it was a flop camera, like how would it be hypocritical of me if a camera was a flop to not want to teach people how to use it? Like if somebody bought it, should I just be like, oh no, I'm not going to help you with that because I didn't like that camera? No, to me it's about the person. I want to help people and I don't care that much about the camera.
You know what? It's funny how hypocrite you are. That's something I'd been thinking for a while.
I also want to say my review said that the 60 Mark II was great. It had key improvements that would make real differences in photography. And I specifically said only camera nerds wouldn't like the camera. But then so many
you're
people
a camera
were like,
nerd.
I know. But most people who buy cameras aren't that nerdy.
Yeah, our job is a little weird because when we do reviews, it's from the perspective of someone that has handled hundreds of cameras. And my friends ask me, friends of my soccer team are into photography, and they're like, what camera should I get? And I recommend different things to in-person people, in real life people, than people online. Because I figure if someone's digging into the videos, they're more like picky. You have to be completely thorough. But when it's my friends, I'm like, what's your budget? Because that's usually the most important thing. No one wants to spend money. I'm like, you have like a couple options now. You can afford the entry-level stuff. Go for it.
Yeah, that's going to the key components become what will they actually use?
Yeah.
What is easy, fun, and small?
Yeah.
And those are the biggest factors. It's not like we go right for, oh, you need all the dynamic range because you're going to be shooting raw. You definitely need a D850.
Yeah, not for just a casual shooter.
Yeah.
Tony, what happened to you this day? Let's just read the comment first. Kurt Tweedle, who has an excellent name, says, Cannon, look what you've done to Tony. He's gone around the bend. You should feel shame. Game of Thrones Cersei's walk of shame level shame. Shame.
I love that
Shame.
comment. It's got Britishisms in it. It's got Game of Thrones
He's
references.
gone around the bend. I don't know where that came from, what the etymology is, but I like it. So what did happen to you to make this happen?
I just completely lost my mind because how do you make it's like it's the reason we don't review a lot of cameras is there's not much to say. Like everything's fine. 60 Mark II is a big enough camera. We also wanted to make a tutorial about it, so I thought we'll give it a quick review and yeah, it's just there wasn't much to say. It was fine. And yeah, I was just real bored.
Ozzy said, Chelsea is a little off her rocker, but very cute. I can see why Tony married her. Is it because I'm off my rocker or because I'm cute? Or do you suppose it's the combination?
Ozzy seems to imply that I would like you because you're cute, but not like you because you're off your rocker. But I like both those traits of Chelsea.
Yeah.
Those are both in the positive side for me.
You actually seem to like me more when I go more bonkers.
Yeah, so which means I like you more and more every day because you seem to be going around the bend.
I'm going around the
at a
bend
steady
hard.
pace.
And I'm not slowing down, folks. Alvarez says, Tony and Chelsea are overthinking photography.
I think we have a new tagline for our channel.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is our job. If we didn't overthink it, our videos would just be like, go for it. Here's the new camera review. Just go for it. Press that shutter, man. Just
Yeah, it's
do
fine.
it.
It's fine.
Do it. I want to do that. Can I do that video series? Because I'm kind of tired of all of the hard work. I'm just going to be like, hey, you do you. Press the shutter.
I think we could have Chelsea reviews 20 cameras, and I'll just hand you a camera, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, this is a fine camera. I'll hand you another one. You're like, yeah, this is a good camera, too.
I actually hate
It's
a lot
fine.
of cameras. It'd probably be half of them. I just throw them up and hit them with a baseball bat. Stupid menu system. What does the B stand for on your cap, Tony? The curiosity is killing me, LOL. Is that your Boston Red Sox hat? It stands for basic.
Ouch.
Okay, Max Factor said 5D Mark IV rules. Not. Oh my God, he got me. He got me.
Can we bring back this joke construct where you just say something that's totally acceptable and normal and then
You know what I tried
crush
to
the person's feelings?
I tried to bring back, but nobody liked it? Psych. Did anybody else do psych?
Yeah, I think
Psych.
Psych came a little bit after Not, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which came
I
first,
was
but
like, stop it. You're embarrassing.
yeah, for me it was more like, yeah, I'll go on a date with you. Psych. Heard that one a lot.
Best strange hair ever was Hypnotized. Camera history is pretty good too.
What's
Wrong with your hair?
People just think it's strange. I mean,
I'm fine with it. Rather have a root canal than watch this. Get to the subject matter already. And then Bungle said, it's all the subject matter. Well, John, you'd think you'd be a little nicer with a last name like Hyman. George from Jungle says, what a strange guy. Face of 30-year-old and hair of 60-year-old. Why you gotta talk about him like that? He's not strange. He's just, his hair is aging differently.
I have the body of a 90-year-old and the soul of like a long dead person.
The soul of a long dead person. We had so much chit chat this week. Whew, you guys are wearing us out.
Let's look at a portfolio before we go back and look at some more people's pictures. Okay?
He'd rather get a root canal than watch it. You know what? You don't have to watch it at all.
I know. Why do people think we're forcing our videos on them? Like it's really easy to avoid our videos.
I avoid them all the time.
Yeah, we don't watch this. Boring.
You know what I do watch? this show called The Sinner.
Yeah, we're kind of into the center.
Okay, we're going to look at your portfolios.
What are you feeling, Greg Heath or Rosquist?
I'm going to go with Rosquist.
Oh, you nailed that pronunciation, Charles. Okay, so they have a title page. Let's learn about Rosquist.
That's his last name.
Oh, look, he's got the 3D scrolling template. This is the template I'm going to use.
Cool.
Look how cool that is. See how that just like draws you in? And it works on mobile and stuff too.
Okay.
Anders. That's a lot easier to pronounce. He's a Swedish photographer.
Got to dumb it down for the Americans. Hi, I'm Anders. I'm handsome. Let's look at his portfolio. I want you to know, Tony, that whenever I say something like that, we get so many comments where people are like, how dare Chelsea acknowledge another man's existence? I get really upset.
Oh, well, I definitely can't say that Anders is handsome. Like, I saw Anders' pictures, like, that's a handsome dude. But if I do that, you don't even want to know the comments that come in.
I've got those words filtered. I'm not putting up all that homophobia. Is this...
Oh, that picture's great.
This is beautiful.
This is a gorgeous shot. Just watch the fringing.
Watch the
sdp.io/fringe.
Oh.
So we're seeing some mixed kind of landscape and
Love
some
the reflections there.
sort of street photography.
I love your life. You're just seeing the world.
Oh, I know this
New York.
particular street in
Me
Brooklyn. The funny thing about this
Whoa.
street is when you go to walk past here, you will inevitably run into somebody who's a tourist and they're walking past and then they're like, whoa, you can see the bridge. And then so they immediately halt and pull their phone out. Yeah, people are constantly abruptly stopping in the middle of the street.
Like, oh, whoa, is that West Down? Look at these two. It's called Public. Wow, this is really nice.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Again, gorgeous
Goodness.
spot. Just watch the framing
Right
there.
here, we mean right,
Yeah.
especially right here. You have lovely pictures. Man, we gotta travel with this dude. This is beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. I didn't get bored. Excuse me. I did not. Oh, and you
Yeah.
don't have too many pictures.
No, plenty of diversity too. No pictures that are too similar.
You have a very nice, simple layout. I like the 3D scrolling. I like your bio is short and your photo is approachable. I can shop. Yeah. Affordable prints.
Squarespace includes little stores that you can sell prints on. I sold a print just this week and shipped it right off from my portfolio.
Look, he has a little teaching section. You're
that's
generous.
awesome.
You're generous.
All right. Well, I'm a fan of Anders. Your portfolio looks great. I think we gave you a couple of tips. I would definitely go back and reprocess some of those pictures.
If I had the nitpick, I might just change your logo. Because I can't tell if it's a rose or a crumpled up piece of paper.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's not conveying. And the rest of your portfolio is so modern and clean, and you look so modern and clean. I'll just get rid of that.
Here's what Anders had to say about Squarespace. Simple and really good looking.
Is he talking about Squarespace or me?
If you want your own awesome Squarespace portfolio, visit squarespace.com/Tony. Get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. Decide if you like it. Put your best pictures up, make them look awesome. Pick from like more than a dozen templates, including some brand new templates that they just put up. If you decide you like it, after your trial, you can use the coupon code PORTFOLIO and you get 10% off. And it lets them know
entire
you heard about it from us.
purchase.
Thanks for sponsoring us, Squarespace. Let's go back and look at some pictures because that's what people really want, is for us to look at pictures. I do want to re-import and see some new ones. So why don't we go through and just find the ones that really catch our eye here. I like this one with the kind of 9/11 memorial lights going straight up.
Another
Classic
Brooklyn
composition.
picture. A lot of Brooklyn tonight. That is a classic spot.
I was going to say, it's got to be the most famous skyline in the world, right? And Brooklyn provides just an awesome viewpoint of it. We have a couple of people here in the foreground. I would just hang out and either wait for them to move or get a little closer and shoot a little wider so that you frame them out, or just Photoshop them out, because that's okay. You can just Photoshop them out. But otherwise, the picture turned out awesome.
Ooh,
I like this
the
kind of
mood.
compressed
Like
background,
it.
kind of telephoto.
St. Louis.
Oh, all right. There is a cityscape back there. I almost didn't see
you
it.
got the
but
arch in there.
That's got to be the most gorgeous view from a stadium I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
it's really beautiful.
Yeah, all right.
Tony, oh look, they have the arch in the field.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't originally notice.
We need to go to St. Louis. Look at their lawn game. Really good.
Yeah, nobody mows like
I'm giving him a pick.
that guy.
A little hazy.
Yeah, this is going to be more about timing. Just pick a different time of day because it's very hazy, very midday, early in the morning, late at night, during the golden hour.
It is
during the blue
cloudy,
hour.
so you're getting a lot of soft light. Ooh.
Jacksonville, actually a beautiful city. I might even, most of this frame is just darkness, and it's a difficult choice to choose how much of the skyline that you want to put in here. Let me just lock this. And I think I'd go ahead and go tighter. Like what I'll do is just pick the best of, like the best section of the skyline.
Oh, it's John
include it in.
Kroger's greatest hits. Okay. Ooh,
Oh, I love that. I'm going to give that one a pick.
gherkin sandwich. That's funny. You're funny. I'm giving you a pick.
Very creative composition.
It makes me uncomfortable.
This looks
Justin
like
Young.
Florence, right?
This is the Duomo. Did you know that they lost the information on how to make a dome, and then they had to try to rediscover how to make one? That's why it's always important to document the people.
People for scale. Yeah, I didn't notice it at first,
Fiorenzi.
but in a large print, you would notice that, and that would help convey just how massive this building is.
I feel bad you don't care
I'm
about
gonna
Duomo trivia.
I care about Duomo trivia. It's one of the most important things in my life.
Oh yeah, then who constructed the Duomo?
Da Vinci?
No, Mark Duomo. You love when I lie to you. Okay, this is nice. I like the colors. I like the leading lines.
Yeah, it's a pretty scene. You might even just hang out and let some more cars go through, get some more traffic in there. You could stack
Multiple
20 different
photos.
pictures and get all those different
You
lights
could
in there.
run around over.
Yeah.
Whoa, Kevin, you
stark.
really went for it. So contrast is not an
Crush that.
issue. I think it's underexposed. Just kidding. Okay, it's different. I like
Yeah,
that.
Cool shot. Good take on it.
Oh. What happened? Did you crop a lot? Did you?
Well, it could also
Oh,
be
it's
a foggy
50
day, but-
millimeters. So they cropped a lot.
Yeah, and maybe it's foggy or hazy, but if you want to make that convey, you have to have a little bit of a wider angle shot, and we have to kind of see the movement of the fog. Right now, it just looks like it's washed out.
What happened?
I think they cropped a lot, and I think it's like foggy or hazy or something. Could be a rainy night, that kind of thing, but it doesn't necessarily convey.
It's very dark. Maybe earlier in the day would have been better. But you have a good composition. You know what's pretty.
People send in so many super low-res photos.
They do this to me. Da-da-da-da-da.
A ton of contrast here. You might be able to improve it a little bit by just raising the shadow some from your raw file, not from the JPEG, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting. What is that?
It looks like the mast of a ship, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Nothing to kill.
That's interesting. Little Ivan. I do like this jogger here. I think I would have stepped in front of this pot if possible. It's
Yeah, the
very
jogger is
big.
definitely the focal point.
I like the jogger because I like that he's looking at the city. So I look at him and then my eye goes here. But this pot is really
Yeah, and there's so
stealing the
much
show.
just like the bottom quarter of the frame is just kind of white nothingness. Yeah, that's already an improvement. Good
This is
edit.
what I do.
Ah,
Oh,
gorgeous.
we know the spot.
Yeah, if you go down just a little bit further south from Dumbo, you get something interesting to put in the foreground. And we were talking earlier about how boring it can be to have half your frame just be water. And I was thinking of the spot. I'm glad somebody sent that picture in. So I'll give it a pick. It makes it more
Do you
interesting.
remember we walked by here and I was like, we need to get a picture of that.
Yeah.
But then we didn't. But you didn't.
And it's a super long exposure, which gives you the silkiness to the clouds and to the water.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Turned out great. Good job.
Colors, good movement.
Yeah, I love the magenta cast on it. Nicely done. Nice and sharp, too.
We would have walked right behind him because we saw a photographer that time of night taking pictures. Okay, what's happening?
Lucia.
F18, 18 millimeter.
I think what's distracting me is just all the
Noise.
kind of noise in the sky.
Yeah. But your
I don't know
composition
why
looks
that would be
good. There's
ISO
just so much
100.
noise.
Yeah.
London has really got it going on with the cool buildings.
But they are overdoing it with the cranes, right? Like, chill out with the cranes already.
Well, they're building a lot, Tony. They can't help it. Oh,
Egyptians didn't have
also,
cranes, and they did plenty of building.
Good light. I like the light.
Let's jump back to the thumbnails and see what catches our eye, because I want to do a re-import.
Okay, we should ask Siobhan if she has questions because she usually does. Siobhan,
I do.
what's up, girl? Ooh.
Do you think that film should be taught in high schools? And if so, should it be taught before or after a digital course?
I think it should be taught after a digital course, because I think that getting someone to feel like they're capable is the most important thing at first. You just want to get people out shooting and feeling confident and gradually improving. And I think film's really difficult. That was my first course. We had to roll our own film, and it felt pretty overwhelming, to be honest. I took another film course just a few years ago, and I enjoyed it so much more, already having some grasp of composition, so I could know that I was going to have the reward of at least a decent picture, having some experience. But when you're first starting and you don't even know shutter speed, to spend hours and hours and hours rolling film and developing and then just get nothing, it's so discouraging. I just don't think it encourages someone to go out and shoot constantly. I know people have done it, but just consider that the generation now is so different. Everything's very instant gratification. You can be against that if you want to, but that's just the reality of how kids are functioning. And I'd rather just push them into something they can do, get them into it, get them feeling confident, get them learning something about the art and composition of photography. And then if they want to learn film, that's fine.
Oh, man.
You agree?
Yeah, I hate that so many schools insist on teaching film stuff first.
I think it's a great thing to learn. I just think maybe it's not necessarily practical, and it's extremely expensive as well. Photography is already an expensive hobby. I would just teach kids from their cell phones.
I'm giving Brendan here a pick for this, and then I'm going to re-import. Yeah, teach film, but teach it, things like learning exposure, when you can look at the exposure on the screen and instantly know whether you nailed it.
Yeah.
That's so much faster, and eventually you can learn film later.
I know.
Film is fun.
Like, I have heard people say, oh man, kids these days, they don't appreciate this and that, and they just take pictures and cell phone pictures and Instagram and a lot of negative stuff about that. But just having a 13-year-old daughter, I see kids thinking about storytelling and taking multiple pictures to get the story, and doing things in reverse. I don't know if a lot of you probably use Instagram, but there's something called boomerang that repeats a clip, and then there's a reverse that you can put some video in, and then you can put all sorts of filters. So as much as you don't respect Instagram, it's getting kids that don't even know they like photography, taking pictures, composing them, editing them, taking video clips, thinking about storytelling, thinking about composition, all of these concepts that they might not even know exist. They're thinking about them and practicing them. So I think it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, they're getting a huge head start.
Yeah.
Learning should be fun. This picture from Cole McManus caught my eye. It's fantastic, right? Because of the skyline.
It's very classic.
Yeah, but also the inclusion of a foreground subject here, the natural framing of the window, Anyway, caught my eye as a thumbnail. I'm definitely.
I
gonna
think
pick
even
one of
this diagonal jet trail adds something to the photo.
it. Yeah.
It's a great. I'm gonna give that a pick as well.
It
Siobhan,
should
do you have
be
any
a
other
pick.
questions?
I do. Oh, we got a money, just money, $20 from Roger Wilson earlier. Thank you, Roger.
Awesome.
Thanks,
I think we're up
Roger.
to like
Pass that on to the Red
$50 for
Cross.
those donations. Do we get to see what people donated to the Red Cross? Can we
No.
tell?
I don't think so. Hopefully it's a bunch, but
How am I supposed to shame people into being considerate? What else, Siobhan?
If you had to choose another field to work in, what would you do? Greetings to all from Trinidad, West Indies, in the Caribbean.
Oh. What would you do, Tony? Computers?
no. I don't know. I actually love programming. Every now and then I still have to program something and I still love that. So maybe, but I like more social stuff. Does it count if I could be a filmmaker? Because I would love to. I love video too. I know it's closely related, but it'd probably be that. Or a teacher. I mean, I know I teach now, but I love teaching too. What about you?
I've always just fallen into things I like. So I've done teaching music, I've worked with animals, and I've done a lot of art and photography. So I'm just guessing it would be in the arts. I don't know what field.
What would you do, Justin? Like, I presume this is your dream job, but
It is.
if you had another dream, what would you do?
Yeah. I'd probably do either like organic chemistry or something with astronomy, like telescopes,
Yeah.
studying all that kind of stuff. But you have to know like so much math,
Yeah.
just like 10 years of learning math at universities and stuff. But it would
Yeah.
be cool.
You could do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What would you do, Siobhan? What's your dream job?
Well, I'm trying to apprentice as a woodworker, so that might be my dream job.
That'd be cool. Have you ever done woodworking before?
I took a woodworking class in middle school and saw a kid cut 2 of his fingers off.
What? You were in Jason Finnegan's class? Oh,
I was.
I tell Tony that story all the time. It like really left an impression on me.
I was there.
Now everybody's going to be looking up old 8-fingered Jason.
No, they sewed them back on. Siobhan, we were in the same class.
But he got
What?
that nickname in that brief
Class
period
too?
of time.
I'm pretty sure I was in that class.
You might have been.
Dang.
I don't know that everybody's enthralled with the trip down memory lane.
Yeah, they are. We saw a boy chop off his fingers. And
Steve McGrady's picture here is awesome. You get a pick, Steve.
Sorry, Jason.
What other questions do you have, Siobhan?
Well, I have a completely unrelated photography question or
get a
a
pick,
bunch
Vlad.
of photography
Awesome shot.
questions.
Look at that shot.
That's awesome.
Which would you prefer?
Whatever one you like.
Okay.
That's cool. Good pick.
Do you guys have any idea what process the NBA and NFL editors use to make player photos look like they've been HDR'd times 1,000? So weird.
It is really weird. What is with that style? Why do they always have to look like they're so intense their skin can't even be normal?
Yeah, everything about sports, especially on TV, is just so extreme. You ever, you watch a football game and all the cutscenes are like robots beating each other to death, like they're dressed up as players, but they're actually robots and smashing each other, and there's
Yeah,
explosions.
you're right.
Like, just chill out. These are grown men playing basically a kid's game, tossing a ball around. Like, we don't need to be super extreme about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's all in fun, but chill. It's a game.
But I don't think those pictures would do well if you did NFL pictures, but everyone was just like, I'm just chill. They just had tea.
Yeah, they're like, this is a cool hobby.
Yeah.
Glad I can make some money at my hobby. It's
So I
fun.
guess we know the job you wouldn't do.
Maybe their clarity slider goes up to like 1,000. They go all the way to 11.
I was going to say.
Here's a skyline picture with a dog. Like,
I'm going to
they
give
really,
this 1,000.
I know they know how
pics.
to work it right. Look at that.
God.
That dog is cuter than I thought when looking at the thumbnail. I didn't know its
God,
little
why
tongue
does
would
it
be
have-
poking out.
Why does it have every feeling? Oh my God.
Oh, Simon wins. You get 5 stars and a pick.
But I am going to try to adjust the white balance. Let's try to do the dropper on this one. Because you...
Yeah, and I'd love to get that harness out of there. Photoshop
What?
it.
No, just Photoshop a bow tie in. Let's make this...
Okay.
That is just so cute.
Yeah, that's the best picture, Simon. You win everything.
I love dogs. I want 1,000 dogs.
Oh, look at this creative shot. I love that. I've never seen a shot like that of New York, and it's tough to take a unique picture of the New York skyline. Awesome shot. I love all the lines here. Pick for you.
Doobie doobie doo.
What else is catching your eye? So many shots of New York.
Justin, how many times do you think I
Boston.
sing to you every day?
Quite
This
a bit.
is... Oh, Boston.
Sandra.
That's a place.
Great shot. Probably my favorite spot for a skyline there. Let's just straighten that out a little bit. Compositionally, you really can control what those lines of that chain and the sidewalk are based on how close you get to the chains. And that's, so many people's shots are going to look the same here. You're going to vary it by the time of day, which you nailed. You got great time of day. The
Nailed
lights are
it.
there. The sky looks awesome.
Sandra.
Creatively, you can use that chain or not use that chain. Look at that one.
Oh. Oh.
Beautiful sky.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, beautiful sky. It's tough.
See?
We got this kind of tree poking in from the left side and so much vegetation in the foreground.
It's pretty.
Yeah, but it is pretty.
I've always wanted to go to Montreal.
I'll let you
Scott
pick.
Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do a thumbnail?
Well, I'll let you pick whatever you'd like to do. You drive.
Let's see. Let's see what catches my eye. Nothing. Just kidding. This one.
Everybody whose thumbnail is shown is just crushed.
Yeah, I love this. Is
Yeah,
it Santorini?
Santorini's
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
It says it.
Her outfit really helps here. The fact
The
that it's simple
yellow.
colors. I wonder if you could change that yellow to the color of blue in that dome. I know, right?
Why didn't... Yeah, you're extreme. I know, right? Oh, her hair. I would bring out a little texture in her hair
Yeah, that's a good call.
because I am extra like that. Here we go. It's not happening. Just so that it has a little dimension to it. And this, I would Photoshop this out. I don't know what it is, but it offends me. And this, I would also get that out. Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
No, me either. Ooh. It's gone rogue. Wow. What's this guy doing? Well, this is an interesting shot from the perspective of a statue.
Is this statue holding up a smartphone?
I think it
It's
has
like it's
a...
taking a picture of that dude.
I think it's a shell.
Hmm.
I don't know. But I like it. Queen of the Mississippi. We might see the Mississippi River. But I don't know. We're going on a trip with the Lowenbachs, and we haven't picked the location yet. And surprise, Tony and Justin, it might be the Mississippi River. And it looks like this.
I actually like that as a destination, just getting in a boat and just traveling up and down the Mississippi.
That's not what I said.
People don't really do. No. Got my hopes up and then you crushed it.
I did.
I wish compositionally the boat were in the foreground a little bit more because, you have like a third of the frame is just water with nothing going on. I understand you couldn't teleport yourself down close to the water and put it in the foreground. Maybe you can wait around a little bit.
Well, the water's not really pretty, so you could just crop it like this.
Yeah, I think that's a much more powerful composition. Just you had a 28 to 70, so if you'd zoomed into 70, you probably could have gotten that in camera. Good shot, Tiffany. Whoa,
Ooh, I'm gonna give
that's
that a
gorgeous
pick.
in black and white. Sorry.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. I'm gonna give you a pick. Good contrast. What is happening?
I don't know. Lightroom's been such a pain lately, like the last decade or so.
Stockholm. I would bring up the exposure on this because this is the subject and it's underexposed. So let's see what we can do if this will cooperate.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
A little better. Cool. All right. Before we go, Siobhan, do you have any last questions?
Sure, I do. $5 from someone whose name is just a bunch of numbers that says, "Thanks for picking my enchiladas. Uploaded the wrong shot, but you still gave me a pick for my other passion, cooking."
I do love enchiladas.
Yeah. I don't remember. That must have been last week.
Yeah. Anything else?
If you had to
Pick
pick
funeral shot.
only one camera, what would it be and why?
Oh, man.
I can't answer that. How about you, Tony?
I mean, I guess at this point it would have to be the D850. It seems pretty cool, but I've only spent like 2 hours with it, so
I'm
it
not
feels a
gonna
little
pick-
aggressive to be.
I haven't had any time to get to know it. I'm not going to pick that yet.
All right, I feel comfortable saying I'm going D850 or the A7R3.
You fall in love fast, my friend. What else, Siobhan?
What music do you all listen to?
Well, Siobhan listens to Nickelback
Creed.
and
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain, but only
She's
that
a big
song.
U2 fan.
Man, I feel
Wait,
like a woman.
I do like you two, but you take all of those other ones back.
No, I mean, if U2 is correct, the other ones are correct too. It's just science.
So I know a lot about Siobhan's musical taste. She's a real believer.
Chelsea, your musical tastes are all over the place. You like Billy Joel and Slash.
Nicki Minaj.
I
You
do.
love Nicki Minaj. And
I
if
love
Led
her.
Zeppelin comes on, you know every word to
Yep.
every song.
I know all music. I like almost all music.
Yeah, you tend to play a lot of classical music on the piano.
I'm not a snob of anything. I'm not a food.
This is
music-
not true because I like country music, and if I play country music, suddenly that snob starts to come out.
Nuh-uh.
Like, this music's for dumb people.
I like Dolly Parton. Who's the one that's always like, roll out of bed and into the kitchen? That's me. I don't like country music about tractors. Like I like the badonkadonk honky tonk or whatever, or she thinks my tractor is sexy. I don't like that. But that's pretty much it.
A lot of country music is pretty patronizing.
How about you, Justin? You like badonkadonk?
I agree.
honky tonk?
That's just like pop music for the Rust Belt or whatever.
But
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I agree with you. Everything, except for that kind of country. music.
you don't
Well,
like
what were you
you don't
playing
like
when it came
Nicki
into the
Minaj.
studio?
When I-
Yeah, and I don't really like very super poppy hip hop that poses as hip hop.
I like
kind of
pop.
stuff.
But you have unique music. I don't know if you'd call it electronic or what, but like, who do you actually
yeah.
like?
Remember that hot potato style guy?
Yeah,
Drop it hot potato style, drop it hot potato style.
Mostly lately, I've just been listening to like tons of hip hop, but yeah, I guess like there's electronic music and stuff is cool too.
Yeah, I hear you listening to a lot of
All
electronic.
kinds of stuff though. Yeah, like Led Zeppelin, that's great too. Lots of classic rock, I listen to that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
punk
like-
rock, tons of punk rock.
I'm really into Kendrick Lamar right now.
Kendrick Lamar is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I listen to. I like.
Siobhan, though. I'm sorry, Tony. I didn't
We
mean to
already
interrupt
said
you.
she likes Nickelback. You know what the most more controversial than Nickelback thing that I like right now is I like the new Taylor Swift songs and everyone hates her. And I like it.
Yeah, I'm not into that new song. It doesn't feel genuine to me.
You don't know her life. Siobhan, what do you like? Nickelback.
You know what I like.
I know what they don't.
90s post-punk and folk music, and I've been listening to the new Lord album for the past like 2 months straight.
I do like Lord.
Yeah, she is great. I'm also listening to pop, but regularly I have this old smartphone. I haven't used Pandora for like 8 years.
Yeah.
But it has Pandora on it and it's hooked up to the stereo in the kitchen. So I keep playing my playlist from like a decade ago, and it's
Are you ashamed of yourself?
No, well, a little bit, but every time I play it, I love it. It's
Yeah.
all like Notorious B.I.G. and
Oh, yeah.
old school Jay-Z. So it's
love
that like
B.I.G..
90s era gangster rap, and I still love that stuff.
You are the OG.
I am the OG,
Yeah, that's good.
as well as so much else. I mean, my first dog was named Willie Nelson. I still love country music, and lately I've been listening to the country stations a lot. When
This person
I'm in
hit
the
on
car
a
alone.
question we really want to talk about.
Yeah, we're passionate about that. I think we all love music. We listen to it a lot.
I lose people with the classical music.
Oh, look at this one.
Classical music
all
is
over the
like
place.
awesome.
What classical music do you like, Justin?
Really
Good
just
pick, Caleb.
Johann Sebastian Bach and
I love
really
that.
everything, like anything that's traditional classical music. But I also listen to composers like Hans Zimmerman that make motion picture soundtracks, which is just like
Zimmerman is like
updated
really
classical
creepy.
music.
Yeah, yeah. I like Zimmerman as well. This is a beautiful photo.
Yeah, I feel like
Houston.
they
Oh.
went artistic with it. Taken with a drone too, but just fantastic angle. I think more people should be thinking about skylines with drones, because sometimes you just want a little elevation, or you want to
Yeah,
get
I
out
mean,
over the water, and that
That's
gives
good
you that
advice
option.
as long as you know that you're legally taking those pictures.
Yeah, don't hurt anybody. Oh, what a great skyline.
Beautimus. True.
Yeah,
I think that these bushes in the foreground are overpowering the cityscape,
yeah.
but I like your idea. Ooh.
I love how it just kind of disappears,
Yes.
right? I
Oh.
struggled so hard to get a skyline of picture of Tokyo, and there just isn't one, because it's this kind of, it's so sprawling, and there aren't big skyscrapers like New York. I kept traveling around like, where's the skyline picture of Tokyo? And I never did find it, but this picture works pretty well, and it does help
Shibuya.
convey.
Was a good little place to get pictures.
Yeah, there were lots of photogenic places, but yeah, as far as like the cityscape goes,
This
hard.
isn't a cityscape.
How dare you?
I took it personally. Nice. Can't judge ya. I would get rid of this. First thing I noticed.
Yeah, move forward and watch the negative space above those buildings. You're really close.
A lot of great pictures today, guys.
I'd like to go to Labrador.
I want to go everywhere. I want to go.
Yeah, another tough shot with the unnatural lights. Oh, that was good.
You liked it?
Yeah, you did that really well.
Thank you. Marry me.
I do.
People asked if we were twins today. Does that creep you out? Ooh,
Wow.
tilt shift. I'm going to give you a pic.
Yeah, that's a cool effect. That was the first tilt shift we've seen.
Yeah. This spot is popular. Whoa, whoa. Okay.
What if we were twins and that was just the twist at the end of our YouTube channel?
This is very Game of Thrones.
Like, just nobody expected it.
Twist. Nobody expected it except for the 100 people that have asked if we're related. Doobie-doo. Tony, remember when you threatened the other day to dye your hair brown and get green contacts? And I was like, no. All right, this lacks
That's how I
contrast.
win every argument.
I concede. Let's just add contrast. I mean,
Yeah, maybe
what else
clarity.
is there in life?
Let's clarity that up.
Whoa. Okay.
Too much. I went too far.
Oh, goodness.
It's too easy with the clarity to go
Yeah.
too far.
Yeah, it's easy.
All right, I guess we should sign out unless Siobhan has something.
Well, we'll end it with a question from Siobhan.
Good
She
for us.
usually knows how to do it.
Do I? Usually I'm like, meh.
Okay, well, I was trying to be your hype man.
No, I do.
So-
I do have questions. You just, everyone knows that's a lie.
That's awesome.
Whoa,
Good job,
Sorry.
do sun. Pick.
this makes me scared of nature.
You ever hit the shutter count on your cameras? Do you worry about it? What do you do when you hit the magic number?
I don't worry about that.
Throw the camera out.
I just punt it. I go, damn you. I punt it.
You know
What do you
what's
do?
weird? No, I do not care in the slightest. But how many pictures do you think I've taken with the Sony A9?
Oh.
Because we've had it for what? Just like a month or two?
I think
Not
you've
long.
taken 5,000.
Oh, way more, I would think.
36,000 pictures. And like,
You hit the number.
that was in my Lightroom catalog. I
It's
was like,
time
what?
to punt it.
How is that possible?
No.
And it's possible because you can take 100 pictures accidentally. Like Justin and I were just goofing around with a new Sony lens, like 20 millimeter f2 thing, and we were playing back pictures and we thought it was broken because we kept we hit play and then we would scroll left and the
And
picture
nothing would
wasn't
happen?
changing, and then we realized we left it on high speed silent shutter, and like when we thought we were taking one picture, it was taking like 20.
That happened to me when we were testing the camera, and I was like, I don't think I'm. There's also no blackout, so you can be looking through it. You don't see the shutter. There's no blackout, so you're just like, am I taking pictures? It's really quiet, and then you're like, oh, I took a movie.
Yeah,
I took a movie. Siobhan, what else
I
do
do
you
love
have?
that camera.
Let's go to Amsterdam right now.
Oh man. Do you think that Nikon will ever be able to compete with Canon lens-wise?
Well, possibly. Their bodies aren't getting any more popular, so maybe Nikon would have time to catch up.
Yeah, it's tough to say. There have always been several key lenses where Canon just seemed to be a little bit ahead. I don't know though. I'm gonna have to reevaluate now that we have like a proper high megapixel body from Nikon.
Let's reevaluate.
It's a beautiful skyline, right? Got to clean that noise up though, Fabio.
Still no Prime 500 or 600.
No,
No, they
Nikon
have
has
a
those. I think you're thinking of Sony.
Oh, okay.
Sony doesn't have those, but yeah, Nikon does. But they're never, at least as far as the objective ratings go, they're just not as sharp as the Canon versions of them. I do hope to retest that now that we have more comparable bodies.
And okay, any more, Siobhan?
I keep feeling like we're
Rob
ending the
Tillits
show.
just gave us $20 to say hi, Siobhan.
Cool.
Hi, Rob.
That goes to charity.
Roy-
Thanks. That'll go to the Red Cross.
Roy is begging me to ask this question that I don't know if you'll know anything about. How do you feel about the Note 8 cam? I'm excited.
I don't know anything about it.
I've heard about it. A lot of people are saying it's better than the iPhone.
Oh, what's it do?
I don't know.
There are some really cool Android phones coming out, and I used to do Android, and I switched because of the camera in the iPhone 7.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I could switch back because the iPhone system is just so smooth and reliable, and so many apps work just a little bit better on iPhone than they do on Android. Like Lightroom Mobile seems to be a little better on iPhone than Android. And in particular, the DJI Go app, if you fly drones at all, it's so much faster and smoother on iOS than it is on any Android device that I've tested. It just works way better.
Yeah.
And that kind of little thing matters.
Okay.
I'm just enraging Android nerds right now.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Justin and Siobhan, for helping us out. And thank you, everyone that helped us by donating to all of the victims of the hurricanes.
Yeah, take care of people because people aren't prepared. Nobody is prepared to have their house destroyed. They're just not. And that includes the people in Puerto Rico and Houston and
All the islands.
Florida. Soon to be Florida.
yeah.
There's
and
another hurricane on the way right behind Irma, Jose.
I know. We're all humans. We have to like take care of each other. So if you're doing well in your life, then take a moment and help somebody out who's not doing great.
Yeah, even $1 makes a difference.
And be careful about the charities you donate to. Don't do one of those GoFundMes. There's just so many scammy charities from people who would exploit helpful people. So the American Red Cross seems to be a solid one, but there's so much to look into for any given charity. So find a charity you're comfortable with and give what you can.
Yeah.
And again, all our proceeds from today, including our sponsorship stuff, will all go into some charities. I'm not sure. We'll talk about which exact one is going to help the most and maybe divide it up a little bit. Thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. If you want your own awesome portfolio or any kind of website, go to squarespace.com/Tony. Get yourself a 14-day free trial. No credit card required. Try it out. See if you like it. You probably will because it's awesome. Then you can use the coupon code portfolio and get yourself 10% off.
Thank you, Squarespace.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. We're looking at your environmental portrait pictures. We're off next week.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Oh, Tigar had to evacuate, right?
That is all.
No,
What's he
he's-
holding down the fort?